You are now watching Love, Stories and Vibes by Loveandships.
Hello, guys. Welcome to this episode of Love Stories and Vibes by Loveandships. My name is Bade and I am your host. I have with me the Aduradolas and just stay tuned for a fun conversation. So, guys, can we meet you? Please introduce yourselves.
All right, everyone. My name is Ife Aduradola, and this is my husband.
Yeah, Toluwaleke Aduradola is my name.
Why did you do?
I don't know.
Aduradola. So I said
Aduradola.
Aduradola. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you do when she was like, "This is my husband"?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not sure?
Well,
Okay, guys, it's lovely to have you here. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
honoring our
Thank
invitation.
you too. Thank you very
So,
much.
like every other person, when you meet a couple, the first thing you want to know, how did you guys meet? Like, how did you meet? How did you guys
Should I
meet?
tell or you should tell?
Do you have different versions?
No, should be the same version.
the same version, but
Okay.
just how it hits differently.
Okay, you go for you. I think you should tell this story. I'm always telling the story.
Oh,
So
okay.
I think you should.
Yes, your
Yeah,
turn.
'cause, I mean, you're a storyteller anyway. So that was 2013. No, yeah, 2013. She's she's got one friend who happens to be my childhood friend. Yeah, we practically grew up together. So I still have pictures of our first birthday, like 1 year. Yeah, and then, but somehow, they've been friends for a bit, but I never knew that he had. I mean, we're guys now. We're always just trying to meet different people, not doing anything crazy. Yeah, and then, so she was volunteering somewhere at how do we call it? It's not like a gallery.
A gallery,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. She was volunteering at a gallery, and then I was with my friend. I think he just got back from one of his vacations. He is a pilot, so he was doing his
No,
training.
that was
then.
when he was in his training.
Yeah, when he was doing his pilot training. I think one of the times he came briefly, or maybe, and he was like, "I told you I need to go see one of my friends." So I just strolled with him, and we got into his office. I saw this young lady, very, very skinny then. Yeah, very skinny. I remember she wore, she's a tomboy, and she's not offended, so don't worry, it's fine. I didn't have to deal with that. So she wore a guy's shirt, a long sleeve shirt, and rolled it. I've
He
always
got
been her thing,
casted.
And so we just introduced her. If I meet my friend, I just greeted casually. I can be very shy. Yeah. Except when I get used to you or I'm involved in a conversation I'm very interested in. So I just sat, and then I mean, there's just something different in that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to sound. I don't want to sound like I don't know, but there was just something different. Yeah, about her. Just that short. Hey, hello. With my friend Tolu. And then they finished gisting. I was just by myself. So when we're done and we were leaving or we left, I said, money. There's something about this babe. And he was like, Tolu, what is which one? What are you saying? So I was looking forward to seeing her again. Yeah. And I think the second time I came alone.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so the second
Of
time.
which, that time, Manny and I were in talking stage.
Yes. Interesting. Okay.
But I mean, the intentions
But he
were
didn't
not
know
clear.
that.
He didn't know that.
Okay.
He didn't know that. We're just still talking. And since he was in America, I was like, I'm too young to be doing long distance anything. So when you come home, we'll talk about it and see if there's anything here. But fortunately for him, unfortunately for me, he came with his friend. I mean, why would you do that?
How would you do that? Who does that?
Who does that?
Okay.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
Anyways,
It ended well.
I came the second time. Yeah. And then, of course, Ayo's friend, what's up? They just started talking. And we spoke for hours. I don't think it was less than 3 hours. I know we got into there was like a garden area ish in that place, and we were just talking about everything, and it just made more sense to me. I was just more comfortable, I really it meant a lot to me, and I think it was that second time that I told her, I want to marry you. It's weird, but it's true. Yeah, I'm very practical. I don't know. I don't like what do you call it, stereotypes, or I don't like to be boxed into like this is how you were first, do this for a while. No, no, no.
Yeah.
I told her,
You didn't want to get into the talking stage and just
like, let's just secure.
don't make the mistake money made.
Secure this right now, and then you sort out other things. So like, I'm not here for jokes. I want to marry. Like, I know I want to marry you. Yeah, but we need to get to know each other. I think it's better I stop there.
Okay. That's it.
That's how you guys met. So
even though when we met, my first impression was, who is this arrogant person? Because when I met this man, I've never met a man that was so particular about the way he looks before. So he came in looking all posh, and I'm like, who's
a tomboy, and like,
so I wasn't really. I just felt, who is this arrogant? Please just go away. But I think that it was a sincerity for me. The second time we met and we spoke for a very long time. It's very hard for you to find a man that is going to pour out everything, be vulnerable with you. And in fact, people in 5-year relationships have not gotten to that stage of vulnerability. And then you're meeting someone for the first time who tells you, look, this is who I am. This is what I'm dealing with. So I think that I need help with, and let's see how this goes, So that was like the catch for me. Like, okay.
That's actually really good. Really, really good. It's a treasure these days, to be honest, because most people are guarded. Don't show too much. Don't be too open.
There's really no point.
Yeah.
Whoever will stay will stay, and the person that wants to leave will
right?
leave.
Yeah. So you guys met 10 years ago. So how long have you guys been married?
That's 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because we're going to be 8 years
in December.
Yeah.
So you guys got married, like, say, less than 2 years?
Yeah, about, yes.
That's good. So how's marriage been? 8 years. That's quite an achievement. Like, that's actually quite an achievement. How's it been? Just tell me. I'm interested. Like,
it's been beautiful, to be honest. I'm not going to lie that we've not had our down moments, of course, like every other couple or every other marriage. But I think that the relationship we have is what helps us. First, I know people say, oh, be friends and everything, and people are getting tired of it. But the truth is that you can't marry someone that is not your friend. That's the truth. That friendship is very important. There's something, you have your ride or dies, as female ride or dies, right? And so just imagine them as men. So in those moments where you're having cramps, or those moments where you just don't want to talk to anybody,
there's a story there.
Yeah, there's so good. This is rated less than 18, right?
Even no more. I don't know what you're talking about. Or those moments where, you've had a bad day at work and you just want to rant to your friends. They are not judging you. They're not telling you this is what you should do. But there's somebody there to listen. There's somebody that can take you being upset. You have said all the bad things that you want to say, and the person just still knows that, I know you don't mean it, but it's okay because I get that you're upset. Exactly. That friendship was what we had that, that has kept us up till now, until forever. So it's been beautiful. It's been beautiful, actually. And it's a very interesting journey. And in fact, you see those challenges of the first 5 years that people talk about, I honestly cannot relate. Because I don't know.
That's actually one of the things I was going to ask about. Yes.
I can't relate because I don't think there's anything extraordinary that has happened. This is year 8 now, and I'm like, nothing.
You guys are winging it, doing really well.
Yeah.
So what's your own perspective of things? How's the last 8 years been?
Peace, adventure, So when guys ask me how far your wife and stuff, I'm like, I'm enjoying my life. Like no
Hey.
pressure. Like
Yeah.
you know how
Oh my gosh.
it's not. So it's there's balance for me in that as much as there's no pressure, it doesn't mean that I don't have to, work,
Work. Yeah, that's true.
but I just know that eventually, like, I know that this babe has my back every time. So I'm excited going home. I mean,
Even though
traffic
Lagos
has been-
traffic has been messing with us.
yeah, lately, so I've had to.
I wonder
you
how
know,
couples are coping. Honestly.
Like it's
Because we don't even live in Lagos.
Oh, okay.
So it has to,
And it works in Lagos.
and it works in Lagos.
Oh,
So imagine doing that every day.
day. That's love.
Thank you.
That's actually love. That's commitment.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people would just look for the easier route and
Easier
say,
route.
okay, let's just. I'll probably stay during the week and then yeah.
Even though we adopted that like 2 weeks. No?
2 weeks.
Yeah, about 2
But
weeks
it's
ago.
it's actually very difficult. I mean, I did a papa, yeah. From outside Lagos.
Oh, so
2 years. I did that 2 years plus. I was driving. I was doing 8 hours driving every day at least, and I'll go. And I mean, a lot of my colleagues just felt like this guy is going to kill himself. Like, you don't have sense.
Yes, exactly.
Like, everybody is. But a couple of things. It's not just the love. Love is amazing, but it's not enough. It's the friendship. I know you know what I'm saying. It's the friendship. It's the friendship that has been built. So we have now gotten too used to each other. I mean, when we used to stay in Ibadan, work in Ibadan, and then work brought me to Lagos. I know that was a very challenging time for us. She literally quit her job so that we can be together. And for us, if she was earning more, I would probably first find something around it. Maybe quit my job or look for something else or whatever. I really did not care about the general
what people think.
I'm not about that. So I think we have to talk every day.
Yes.
So the few times, I'm with the children, I mean, they are not used to not having me around too.
Yes.
There's one annoying thing that happened to her one time. I think one of those times where we're together and all, but I'll leave very early, 4:30, thereabout I'm out, and get back 10-ish. That was my normal. So, sometimes 3 days we'll sleep in the same house, but we won't get to relate with the children, And there was a particular day I damned it, like, I'll be late to work. I want to drop them in school because I actually enjoy taking them to school. That was one thing Ibadan gave, and made me enjoy. So I decided to go late to work, but I was going to drop the children in school. Now, my daughter, it was just in the morning when she went to get them back later in the afternoon. My daughter literally just, expressed to her that she misses. I don't know how she said this. Can you remember? I don't even know what exact words.
She said she loved that daddy took her to school in the morning and that she wishes that it could continue like that. And I was like, if only you understood.
But she felt somehow as far like all these days and months and weeks, just one.
Yeah. I don't know, but they still do it.
Yeah,
they still do it. Mommy,
that's the thing.
Drive fast. You're not driving like daddy.
Oh.
It's not your fault.
Yeah, the children can put you in your place. Like, they are good with that.
So I think it's interesting. It's our lives is just, I think it's just different. We're not like stereotype. There's no particular. I get bored easily with
yes.
So it has to be this way. I'm very spontaneous sometimes, So I've just been enjoying my life really.
Okay, so friendship is a major factor in your marriage, and it's the second major factor.
The first major factor is God.
Okay, yeah,
But
of course.
I really didn't want to press on that because I know this is not a religious, show. But you really can't take that.
Yeah, God is, of course.
Exactly. You can't take that out
You
of
can't
it.
take it
but
out. Yeah, of course.
God
God
first,
and friendship.
and then
So what
friendship.
else would you say what have you guys been doing to put in the extra work? Because I know that marriage, for it to work, it takes intentionality.
Yes.
So aside friendship, what are the things that you do to say, okay, we have to keep the sparks alive, like just
So we're
rejuvenate?
very transparent.
Okay.
Nobody's hiding anything. There's nothing to hide. In fact, the same ATM pin for both of us, for all our cards. We don't use the same passwords, but his email is on my phone. His Instagram is on my phone. My Instagram is on his phone. So there's really absolutely nothing to hide. We're very free, very transparent. That's too. And we know, we're able to understand very early that offense can destroy a lot of things. So there's no room for I'm upset with you and we're not going to talk. Keeping my list, I'm not talking to you, I'm not eating your food. It's not happening. No matter how big it is, we must deal with it. And then we talk about these things a lot too. Even though, so I'm the, let's talk about it now. Is the, I want to calm down before I talk about it. Let's revisit it. I don't have that patience. So somehow we meet in the middle. There are some days when it's, let's talk about it and trash it. And there are some days where we have to just, both calm down. I have to wait, painfully wait for him to, talk about it. But yeah, that too has really helped us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's when we talk to couples, and one of the things, so there are some things that are quite very important in marriage. Would say finances.
Oh yeah.
Right. They would say sex, intimacy. How has it been for you? Did you have those conversations earlier on before you got married? Oh, this is how we want to plan our finances. Because I'm big on have conversations before you get married, so that
Definitely.
at least, even though you're not talking about it 100%, you know some things that you know how you guys are going to operate. So did you guys discuss these things earlier on? And then in marriage, when you go married, has that been consistent? And then sex as well. How is it? How much of a big factor is it in your marriage?
Okay. So for the finance part, no, let me start with this. We talked about everything, even up to the number of children we're going to have. We talked about it, and we agreed 2. Whether it's 2 boys or 2 girls, just 2. And thankfully, we have a boy and a girl. So even though my daughter has been shouting,
you make it sound like those that do not have boy and a girl.
No,
You say thankfully. No, just
No,
don't
like
mind. No,
they have.
hey, that's not what I meant.
I know.
Well,
Well, your daughter has been saying she wants a
she wants
baby
a baby
sister.
sister. And I said, you have a baby sister, but it's not from me. You have a lot of aunties and uncles willing to give you baby sisters. So we agreed. We agreed on so many things. Now for the finances, at first, yes, we talked about it, but coming from my own background, yeah, it was a little bit difficult for me because I grew up in an environment where my mom had to hide money.
Oh.
You get, it was a very, I don't want to go deeply into it, but I already had that in my head that your money, you have to, like protect it. So I don't know if you remember when we met PD, that's his mentor, who is now our mentor, but that was the person who raised him in Babcock. And it was his pastor. So we met PD and his wife. That was one of the things that they really talked about. And, they shared with us how they manage finances in their home. Now, PD is one who's out there working round the clock. His wife takes care of their boys, but she's the manager of the home. She owns, she's the one that dispenses money, And
she's the accountant.
She's the accountant, she's the manager, she's treasurer, she's everything. So, they had to agree. You must agree before you take this money. You must agree before you make any big financial decisions and all of that. So I picked that even before we got married, I held on to that. Like, okay, I'll try to work on this, because if I want to go by where I'm coming from, I'm going to have real problems with it. So first thing we did was we opened a joint account, which till now we don't. We don't even know the usefulness of that account. We hardly even get to use it. But we opened a joint account. And what that joint account did for me was accountability. And, that's trust. That, okay, I know that you have access to this money. I have access to it. If you take anything from it, I won't go kablooey about it, because I know that I can trust that you're not, spending it anyhow. I can trust that you did it for me or for the family. So that's we had to learn that. I had to learn that. He's an accountant by profession. So that's too.
But women are better managing finance.
Not all women.
Okay.
Most women.
So the only thing I know that my eyes, once I say it, it cannot close. Maybe books. So I had to place a ban on myself for that. But, I also had to quickly understand that it's not every money that comes that you spend, on this. So I learned that part. We talked about it, but I also had to do a lot of, learning that on my own because of my background. So I don't want to sit here and tell you, oh, we figured it out and it was all smooth. That's why I had to give you the background of where I'm coming from. So, and how difficult that transition must have been for me. So yes, I learned that part. Then
Sex.
the sex
I'm
part.
waiting for that.
So the sex part.
Or should he?
Okay.
Let us
about
start. I think
I'll
Okay.
start. So the sex part is great, but the beginning was a little, and it's coming from a religious background. My parents are Christians. His parents are Christians. We're pastors' children, growing up in redemption camp. So if you touch man like this, you're gonna be pregnant. So there was a lot of
Yeah, I was told that.
So there was a lot of fear and a lot of holding back. And it took us a long time. In fact, I
Week.
think, no, not even that
Not even
one.
that. Okay.
Oh, God. I know where I'm going to. But it took me a long time to realize that it's okay for me to initiate sex too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It took me a long time because, it's just been registered in my subconscious.
Yeah.
That a woman
A woman
is the man that is
to be
supposed
prim
to.
and proper.
Exactly. So it's the man that should come to you. You are not the one. I don't even know how to do any girly stuff. See me, I don't wear makeup. I don't know anything girly. I don't know how to do it. So imagine that you expect that I wear lingerie and then flip my hair and come and be doing like this by the door. It's not going to happen because that's not
Who you are.
That's not who I am. I don't know how to do those things. But I had to learn. I had to really, really learn because I'm already a fine man. I know. And so I have to up my game all the time. You get, so that we'll not be looking 50 when we are just barely 30. That's the end of my own sex part. Let me continue.
Okay, so how's it been? Let's start with you. I want to hear your perspective about the finances as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So based on my experience, so I used to be a porn addict. Yeah. So not less than 14 years. Yeah. So that influenced, finance for me. In that any money that is, or finance, any amount that you have that your spouse doesn't know about, yeah, that is already a potential, how do I describe it now, English woman? That's already puts you in a place where you are able, it's going to be like
Enables, it's an enabler
to fund Iran.
It's a fun Iran.
Iran is what's Iran in English?
nonsense.
So because a lot of times, if I'm talking from experience, bad experience, especially, secrecy has a way of just helping you to indulge in those.
And bad things thrive in secret.
Definitely. So for me, this is everything. Up to someone gives me 2K, or someone just transfers, your birthday, whatever. She knows everything. It's so for me, it's also a way to keep myself in check. Because the issue with addicts or past addicts, no more an addict, is there's still always that threat or potential to relapse. It's always going to be there. It never leaves, So for me, this was a way to create safe boundaries. And then, women generally are better at managing things.
She said
And-
some women.
Yeah.
So maybe she changes to some women.
I strongly believe that all women, those that are not or do not know how to manage stuff, I think they got carried away along the line, they got carried away and then they just lost that
part of them.
Part of them, yeah. Because a woman can handle 5, 6 different things and be effective. A guy.
That's I love to hear that.
But
Giving us our flowers.
It's just the truth. And if that's the truth, I do not like stress.
My husband needs to listen to this.
I'm not causing trouble.
It's fine.
But I don't like stress. So if you are better at this thing, just handle it. Just handle it. I know the things I'm better at buying stuff or shopping.
I cannot price negotiating. Yeah, I'm like this. I can't.
So the market runs me it's me. She has no business with that. Yeah, she has no business with that. So it's just about communication. This is your strength. This is your weakness. This is my strength. Let's consolidate. It's a team. And then it works on the platform of friendship and sincerity. So for me, I think that's really all I have to say about the finance part. Of course, when it comes to savings and investment and all, because we from experience we realize that saving money in just putting some funds somewhere in an account actually doesn't make sense. It's only in this part of the world where a savings account reduces even though you do not withdraw. So we decided to just put our money in like money markets, secured ones. It's not, we're not greedy about it. 2, 3, 4%, just keep rolling over. It makes more sense to save that way than to just put money and leave it in the bank. Of course, if there's going to be a project or a business that we want to get into, of course, we sit down, we really, and I'm better at trying to,
it's your profession.
Tick all the boxes, like this has to be this. I'm very meticulous. But when it comes to the management of this, is better. So mainly say I'm just more, we're doing a structural re-engineering and stuff. Just trying to sound very smart. This is all the analysis. Just give it to her. She'll do very well with making sure everything is in check. All of these engagements that we have and stuff, I forget things easily. Yeah, easily. So she's my manager. And she, my solo, we have something next week.
That's why I have alarms for everything. So that's why I had to turn off all my alarms because something is going to pop before 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. Yeah.
So that's, I believe, we've sorted that finance aspect. The sex, you would think that a porn addict would know a lot about sex. Maybe head knowledge, based on what you've seen, theory. Yeah. But somehow, when we got married, it took me about 6 or 7 days. It was just like, this is a brick wall. Like, you can't just go through this brick wall. And
Tolu is casting me.
Yeah, so it started quite rough because we were scared. I was honey silly. So the entire 14 years plus that I was hooked on porn and masturbation, I didn't touch any girl. She's the first person I had sex with.
Interesting.
I didn't. I kissed one person, before we ever, but I didn't enjoy it. Anyways, so, and we tried to get touchy, but it was no, I would rather just do my porn. I just felt like, it's within my space. Nobody knew
you
about
control it.
Yeah, I was like, I felt like I was in control, So the beginning was a bit of, I was worried. I was honey, but yeah, she's in pains. Was just all over the place. But eventually, when we got it, some people became freaks.
Some people.
So it was everywhere, every style. Well, it made sense. It made sense, So we grew to have like a pattern that kind of works. I'm more adventurous and fluid. She is still within. I'm trying to get her to get to my level.
Flip her hair.
Yeah, man. I don't think I want to say some things here, but it's way better. Some things can still better, and she's actually trying some things. She's more
After
not
8 years, I'm
conservative,
trying.
not conservative, but something that I would like, or just but we both understand. There's mutual understanding actually, So my sex is good. Actually makes
And we
sense.
communicate our needs.
Yes, we actually talk about it.
Yeah.
And
That's
5 a.m.
good.
in my house, I don't think anyone's going to pick your
Hey,
phone.
God. You're giving them things to think about. Did she ask you?
No.
But it's very important. I don't know, to guys, to men, sex is as important as food.
Yeah, it is.
So, when we are stressed, we are pressured, the account is not balancing, all sorts. Sex just is like therapy for guys. Yeah. And then, we have engaged therapy. Like you're stressed and you went to a spa and you've done a massage. The next thing is sleep.
Yeah.
That's
It
why we always
relaxes
sleep.
you.
That's why we always sleep afterwards.
And that sleep can be annoying.
Oh,
Like,
God.
can't it just be like in the movies? They
Right,
just gist
I
afterwards
just-
and
I
then
just
fall asleep
talk
together.
about-
You run
It's
you.
biology, man.
Okay, so I think that answers the question that I see a lot when people talk about sexual compatibility, that there is nothing like sexual compatibility. It's who you choose to be with. So I still saw something recently where somebody said that it's a lie, that people, it's like an excuse for fornication. Because people would be like, oh, I have to
Sample.
let's do it first to be sure that we are compatible.
compatible.
And then, so I think with you guys' case, it works with who you make it work with.
Yes. And okay, I'll just say it. So another thing is, for me, the way God created sex is supposed to be with one person, your spouse. Right? I'm sure Adam and Eve didn't have porn to teach them what to do, how to do it, what styles. But because there's been a lot of things there in the media, there's a lot of materials on sex, how it should be, it shouldn't be, styles and everything. It kind of just sets some sort of unrealistic standard. So you're expecting, okay, now look at us, for example. He did porn for a very long time before we got married. You now married me that I don't know anything.
I mean, you would not be having expectation
If
of
you're having expectation
he has been saying.
of what he's been saying, And yes, I'm sure you had those expectations.
I
Never even
killed
thought
it
about it.
from the get-go because, I know that porn is fantasy. It's based on
That is
fantasy.
you. So the effect of that fantasy on some people is what is causing issues for them with their partners.
Yeah,
So that's why they
because that
think
is what they expect.
because that's what they expect. That's what they know. But that is not how God expects sex to be. So we're supposed to give ourselves pleasure. So my body is your body is my body. We master each other's bodies, know the contours and everything, the places to touch and not to touch. And then
Communication also helps
And it
because you can
helps.
communicate what you want. and then-
exactly. So you don't necessarily have to be from one person to the other, testing to be sure, am I compatible with you? In fact, it makes matters worse. You know why? Because whoever this person eventually gets married to, you have expectations in your head. Jide used to do it like this before, but this Chinedu,
And
so
in the
you
world we are today, people don't tend to expect things without communicating them. So
I don't know how that is
Yeah.
supposed to work. Even with my
Just
children,
expect.
when they start to cry, I tell my daughter, use your words. I'm not a witch. I'm not a magician. I cannot know what you want. Use your words. If you can't use your words, use sign language. Just let me know this is why I am crying. Then I'll be able to help you. That's for a 6-year-old, let alone an adult. What do you want? How do you want it? When do you want it? Was it last week that I was still telling you? In the morning, 5 a.m. is okay. Anything from 6. Once I wake up, I'm thinking about breakfast for the children and preparing them for school. If you come and touch me at that time, you will not get the best of me. I didn't even communicate it at first. It was more of a leave me, I'm tired. I just get up and I spring out of the room without even hearing anything from him or whatever.
Leave me hanging.
I did not leave you hanging. Sorry, I did not know. But it took. I did that more than 2, 3, 4 times before we now had a conversation, and I told him, I said, when I wake up, I don't have help. So when I wake up in the morning, what I want to do is get up and fix the children so that 7:30 I'm out of the house with them. You also have to go to Lagos. So I don't expect you to help me do all the running around. Though he's one who bats them. He wakes them, bats them while I do the breakfast, lunch and everything. But when I wake up at that time, I'm not thinking about sex. I'm thinking about getting the children ready. But if you wake me up an hour before that time, I'm all yours. So that's communication. But imagine that the 4 or 5 times that I was just pushing him off, I expected him to understand that I had to prepare breakfast. And then
probably thinking about another thing.
Imagine if you even had the fight or something like, so that's why you don't want to open leg. But
okay, that's thank you for sharing. And I wanted to just touch point on the whole joint account thing. I grew up. Well, not exactly told that, you have to hide your money and all that, but joint account is bad. A woman should have her money. Because, of course, when growing up, there were lots of irresponsible husbands. Mm-hmm. And then, so that was what was hammered in our head. So you cannot, how would you have a joint account with your husband? Like, no, don't do that. What if one day he decides to run away with? We didn't even understand what joint account was.
Exactly.
We just felt like, okay, anybody could just go there and take the money and run away. Mm-hmm. And so I'm glad that you're talking about it and people can see that, or at least learn that it's not like that. It's definitely especially when like you are with somebody who is dependable, who you can trust. It's okay if that is the route you want to go.
So for us now, the joint account is for major projects, school fees, house building, and all of that. So if I do something and I have some money, I can just say, okay, I'm putting...
I want to buy private jets.
Okay. Come and fit me. Yeah. So, maybe I have some extra 100K. I can decide to drop it in that account. You drop in the account. It is there, but we know that that's for major projects. Yeah. But I have my own personal accounts too. He has his own personal accounts that he also... I have my personal account that he also funds.
Right.
So it's just understanding why. And for some couples, you don't even need it. Some people don't need it. Some people might need it. When I was talking about it, I even laughed because we are not even using it for what we say like that. So sometimes we just keep it to just have loose money somewhere that we can fall back to, because the moment those projects come, we sort it out like immediately. For instance, school fees. We don't pay school fees when they resume. We pay it during the long holidays. Once we get their report cards and we see that, okay, this is how much we are paying before they resume, we've sorted full school fees. So there's really no need to first keep it in that account and then transfer. It just works like that. So sometimes if it works for you, fine. If it doesn't work for you, okay. But why are you keeping that account? So for money for personal use cannot be in a joint account.
Of course, yeah.
It cannot.
We call petty cash.
Okay. You are pets. Because I don't know why you had to mention that. So, money for personal things cannot be there. You will fight.
Because why are you spending? Why are you buying that?
Exactly.
Why? Yeah.
Tolu loves shoes. He has more shoes than many women that I know. I'm saying it out publicly now. He likes to look good. He loves shoes a lot. So sometimes when he buys shoes, I'm like, well, thank God it's your money, because how will you tell me you spent 60K on this or you spent 70K on this? Because that is, I'm not the head. So
But if it is our money,
if it is in that joint account
yeah,
and it takes it the first time, I might not be angry. But the second and the third time, I'm going to shout like, we have this and this to do. So personal money, personal things, don't touch. Just use the joint account for major projects. I think that's how it works. It should work.
But I just sort of something that I think is for balance.
Okay.
The idea of joint accounts is beyond your name and my name together in one account. It's actually about an idea of doing things together.
Just things together.
And being
yes,
accountable.
Yeah.
And openness.
Exactly.
That's so it's not, it doesn't mean that couples that do not have an account that belongs to 2 of them together, who's, like 2 of their names, is used to open the account and all of that. It doesn't mean that they're not doing things together or they do not align, so it's beyond that. And then you need to know your own situation. If you know that your wife or your husband can be very interesting, the whole family suffer, the children suffer. So your situation would determine your level of. It's not like you're trying to keep things secret, but if you've got a spouse that is quite reckless, everybody will suffer and be embarrassed. So you've got to, have some sort of insurance.
Yeah.
Yes, that is wisdom. And that is then while you do whatever you need to do to, sort out the issue of why is this person reckless, So I think I need to bring that balance.
Okay. Yeah, that's yeah. As long as your partner, it depends on your partner basically, but just don't operate from a place of fear or based on what somebody said somewhere.
Yeah.
So you guys have 2 kids. How was parenting? How did they affect the dynamics of? Because when my son came, a lot of things like we had to rearrange not just our relationship, everything. Like the home, everything. So you guys have 2.
Yes.
How has that?
Wow.
And how have you guys done it?
That's another. It's another journey, and that's a journey that I feel teaches us, or that's a journey that actually tests all the love. I love you. I am your sugar, you are the everything. That is what tests it. I'm not going to, this is not me trying to undermine anybody's decisions. But, our own close friends, let me just put it this way now. Our own close friends, sometimes when they come to us and they say, they're going to wait for 3 years because we want to get to know each other. So for some people, I say, oh, wow, nice, how nice. Good luck. The ones that I know that are our guys, I sit them down and tell them, you don't actually know your spouse until you start having children. In fact, until you get pregnant. That is when you will know. This particular man, this one that is sitting beside me, one day that time when I was pregnant with my daughter, one day I vomited. And he was blaming me for vomiting. I'm like, I cannot control it. But I understood that when we first got married, even up till now, but it's manageable now. When we first got married, I can't wear Tolu's bathroom slippers. Is that finicky? Like, I just like my things. Used to be. Thank you. But is that, don't wear it. If you wear it, it is warm, so I can't put my leg in it again. You can't sleep on my side of the bed because you keep it warm. You get, those things. So, those are very little things, but I know how much it can break something very beautiful. So, when people tell me, I'm waiting for 3 years to get to know my spouse, you cannot know.
You've not known,
started.
Yeah, you've not.
Because when the children come, your time, your body, oh, please, don't even get me started on the sex when they're about maybe 5 months.
Under 1 year, under one.
Just forget about it because they will cry. I think they have some sort of sensors that tell them these 2 are about to do something. Oh, yeah, this is the time to cry. They will cry. They need to breastfeed. You're having a hard time trying to manage the whole situation.
There is a lot
There's
going
a
on.
lot going on. If you've had a vaginal delivery, that is one thing. You had surgery, that is another ballgame. It's just a whole lot. So starting from the moment where pregnancy starts till the delivery, till even now, my daughter is going to be 7 in November. My son will be 5 in November. We still, we're still managing. We're still trying to. The relationship is stronger, but it's not like before. Before we will stay out, go to the cinema, we'll go and watch the last movie at the cinema.
It's always like the last.
And we're cruising home at 11 o'clock. We cannot try it again now because we have 2 children looking up to us. We used to sleep in the living room before.
Anywhere. Just
run around the house naked, that kind of. You can't try it anymore. You can't even go to certain places anymore. Because
even some conversations, you can't have them in your presence.
It's you have to let go of some people. There's some people who don't just fit into your family values. They are your friends. You've known them since whenever. But because you are raising children and you know the kind of people you want to model, these people have to leave. Or you make sure you don't take your children. There's some places that we don't take our children to. There's many places we don't take our children to because we are trying to, build something in them. There are many birthdays that we don't even honor because I know that this kind of music you're going to play, this kind of things I'm going to see, I know you as a person, so I don't want my children exposed to all of it. It changes everything about you. Okay? If you're not a patient person, you can't raise children. If you are I don't want them to make a mess, you can't raise, especially toddlers. It's
And the support of your spouse is very important.
Very, very important. It's very important. So this period has taught us to hold each other. Many times, I'm like, Tolu, I don't think I know what I'm doing with these children. I feel like a bad mom. It's one who encourage me and tell me, you are doing enough. You are doing what you can do, And they make us better. Children make us better. If you are... So, a friend of mine was going to quit on something. And I told her that we're doing a course together, early childhood education, long story. And she's working, she's doing the lectures and all of that. That was the meeting I was having before we came. And then she was going to quit. She also has a 6-year-old. And her daughter is excited that her mom is going to be a teacher. I said, how do you explain to her that you don't want to do this anymore?
Yeah.
Your daughter is looking up to you. She's drawing courage.
What value are you?
Exactly.
teaching?
She's drawing courage. She's drawing confidence. She's drawing strength from you. She's seen her mom juggle being a mom, being a wife, a working mother, and then being in school. She's seen her mom do all of this together. And then you tell her, you know what, I'm not doing it again. How do you want to explain it to her?
What mouth would you even use to tell her when she wants to quit later, something later?
Exactly.
And say, no, you don't
can't quit.
Yeah.
Quitters or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she'll remind
also...
you, these children, they have receipts.
Yeah.
They remind you of things you've done years ago. So children, they change everything. They even help you to realign your values. They help you to, as a couple, they help you to realign your values. If at the beginning stage, you just want to flex and have fun and take pictures for the gram, you have children, you have to consider, okay, do I want my family out there in the open? What kind of comments do I want to put on this particular, because my children's friends...
And also, don't embarrass yourself on the internet, because they will see it later.
Exactly. Somebody will...
Not this period, man.
So it just changes you. It changes you. If anybody has children and they don't change, they are the ones with the problems. Children will change you. They've taught me patience. They've taught me... My daughter has told me, you're always shouting. So now...
You're calmer.
I'm not calm, but I'm calm. The ER still works. I'm still calm for now.
Okay.
We're working on it, but it just changes everything.
Please, where am I now with the whole being finicky and stuff?
I'll try. Better now. It's better now.
How many percent?
I'm actually working on that.
It's better. It's better. Like, so maybe I'm on the bed, I'm playing with my phone, and I just rolled over to his own side of the bed. It is warm. Tolu will not come to bed until that place is cool again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, but now it's better.
I think I've become more nonchalant.
Exactly. It's just like, will you, this woman, Do whatever.
And my daughter actually took
Oh Lord,
after
my
me.
God.
Oh.
Our own is even
She can't
something
share spoons.
else. She can't
The exact same things. That you do.
and I don't know. I'm a little uncomfortable about that because she's not going to be in her space forever.
Yeah,
She will have to
Yeah,
go
but
out
she would
and
learn the
mix.
way he learned.
Okay now.
She'll be fine.
Okay.
So
I've been
thank you.
using hand sanitizer for years. Like
Before-
Are you serious?
for
I said
the long,
when I
don't
met
touch
him,
railings, door
hand
handles.
cream,
I use my
all this,
elbows
he
to
had
open for
everything.
years. So
when
now,
COVID came, it wasn't a big deal for him because he knew
It was fine. It was used to
fine.
it.
But now,
I think I'm now even more careless and more carefree.
Okay, thank you so much,
Thank you,
guys.
too.
Like I said, guys, this would be fun, and it has been fun. So thank you so much for your
Thank you,
time,
too.
for sharing honestly.
Thank you.
It's been fun. Thank you. So guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. See you.